Our first two questions this afternoon from Charles Odom, followed by Mark Weiser.
I'm sorry, tell me how this week went for you and when were you told you're starting?
It went well. I mean, I was the starter the whole week. JT had something going on with him. And yeah, so since Monday.
Stetson, how much easier does it make your job when you guys are running the ball as well as you did today? And
yeah, I mean, we knew we had to.
The reason was for the success in the ground game.
Oh yeah, I mean, we knew we were going to have to with the. I mean, the defense that they run. I mean, they drop 8 every play, and play 3 double cloud, and I mean, they're just robbing with your eyes, and it's hard. It's hard to throw the ball. And I mean, we knew the offensive line knew, the running backs knew, wide receivers knew, tight ends knew that their job this week was to run the ball, and that's what we did.
Next, we'll go to Seth Emerson, followed by Anthony Dasher.
Stetson, is it becoming kind of old hat at this point to just kind of wait? Your number is called, whether it's on a Monday or a Friday or a Saturday, and just perform?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm any different than anybody else on the team. I mean, my job is, team first. Team first, whatever it takes for us to win. That's what I'm going to do, and that's what everybody else on this team is going to do. That's what I think makes this team this year so special.
Hey, Stetson, congrats. I know one of the storylines from outside of the program coming in this game was, Georgia has not played anybody this week. You'll hopefully play somebody this week, the number 18 in the country. Did you guys go into this game, thinking you guys had something extra to prove, or just, again, one of those ball games where y'all did y'all thing, the results will take care of themselves?
No, I think we know how good we are. I think we know what it takes to be that good every week, though. We know that we can lose to a team any week, doesn't matter how good they are, if we don't go out and execute. But I mean, we don't really care what the rankings say. We just go out there, do our job, and when we do it really well and we execute, then we're pretty good.
We'll next go to Mike Griffith, followed by Dudley Dawson.
Hey, Stetson, just kind of a quick flashback. I guess it was Arkansas opener last year where you got pressed into action and blew the Razorbacks up. How different of a quarterback are you now than that version of you we saw at that opener last year?
A lot different. I mean, it was, so much more sure, so much more control over the offense, more knowing what the defense is going to do, knowing what we're thinking, what Coach Monken's thinking in specific situations. Just a much better football player.
Stetson, can you talk about the physicality of your offensive line up front and how they dominated Arkansas's defensive line?
Sorry.
Can you talk about the physicality of your offensive line and how they dominated Arkansas up front today? Yeah,
I mean, like I said earlier, we knew going in, if they were going to try to play 3 down linemen, they're going to try to play dime personnel with 6 DBs on the field. We knew that they were just asking. They're basically challenging us. Can we run the ball? And they're saying we couldn't, and we said we could today.
We'll next go to Chip Towers, followed by Dean Legge.
Yeah, Stats, not to beat on this too much. I'm just wondering, the decision to come back this season at all, was that difficult? Did you weigh a bunch of different options about, I don't know, I may not get a snap the whole year, or not?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, this is, you don't play football forever, and you'd like to play football when you can play football, right? So yeah, I had, it was a tough decision. Probably one of the hardest that I've ever made. It was tough, and at the end, I broke it down, and I decided to stay.
Stetson, excuse me for the background noise. I did want to ask, this is now 2 top 10 wins for you as a starting quarterback. Is there a team you feel like you can't beat when you're the starter?
I don't really know what that means. Probably not the, 49ers. But with this, at the beginning of the week, I started like putting pressure on myself. Like, golly, they drop all these 8. How are we going to be able to throw the ball? And then I was like, well, I mean, we got a good offensive line, we got good backs, and we got good wide receivers, good tight ends. As long as they execute, my job's pretty easy. And so, I mean, it's not really me, I mean, at all. I mean, it's who we are as a team and the coaching staff and all that we have.
We'll next go to Jack Duffy, followed by Brandon Sudge.
Hey, Stetson, for the second straight week, the offense and just team in general jumped out to a big lead in the first quarter. And I was just wondering, what's that like knowing that you have the Georgia defense on the other side of the ball to back you up?
Oh, I mean, we jumped out. That first drive was, perfect. I mean, I ran the ball, hit the pass, and everything was clicking. And then I think they had like -7 yards that first drive or something. And then we go right down the field again and score. And then we block a punt. I mean, it's hard not to feel confident. I kind of felt like after that, we started lagging a little bit. We didn't take it for granted, but, weren't quite as focused as we were in the first quarter. And, we got to get better at that it doesn't really matter what the scoreboard is or what the clock says, but, we do our job every play. And so I didn't really like that, but I mean, it relieves a lot of pressure for sure.
Hey, Stetson, following up on what you said kind of about that period that y'all had in the second quarter, I mean, how much easier does it make it to overcome that when you have it on the defensive end where they're not going to allow anything, or they haven't, at least over the first half of the year here?
Yeah. I mean, it's I've played on teams with good defenses and I played on a team with bad defenses, and it is a whole lot less stressful to play on a team with a good defense. I mean, yeah, you can have those little lulls that sometimes happen, a little bit more often, but as an offense, we can't have those, it's two different sides of the balls, and we need to be perfect while they're being perfect. And it's just, but to answer your question, it makes it easier. Yes.
We'll next go to Jake Rowe, followed by Jeff Schultz.
Stetson, you were talking about the game plan about running the football, but it seemed like you guys were maybe open to throwing it a little bit more on the early drives. Was that just something different you saw, or did you get exactly what you thought you were going to get from Arkansas defensively?
Yeah. I mean, they played what we thought they would.
Stetson, I'm wondering if you, with your in your conversations with JT at all, did he express to you how much discomfort he's in, and also, if any, his level of frustration having to miss these games?
I can't speak on JT.
Okay, thanks.
Next, we'll go to Davis Baker, followed by Maria Martin.
Stetson, you guys have outscored opponents 91-6 in the first quarter in these last 4 games. I guess, what do you attribute these hot starts to?
I honestly, I think it's Coach Smart and all the coaches and us believing that we're not good enough to not take teams seriously. And so every single week we go in and we focus and we watch film, and we think that other team's good enough to beat us. So we got to be good enough to beat them. And I mean, we go out there and execute. Problem is now, like I said, when we get off to those hot starts, keep going with them.
Stetson, you talked about how the plan was obviously to go in here and run the football effectively. You guys did that. What kind of a step do you think you guys took today in the run game?
I think it was great. I mean, it reminded me of old time when Georgia used to run the ball a lot. And it was good. I mean, as a quarterback, when you got a great defense and a great run game, it's pretty easy. I think Coach Smart came up to me after that last touchdown with Zamir. He just tapped me on the butt and he was like, I could have done that. And I was like, yeah, well, probably on that one. Yeah. But so, I mean, it's when you can run the ball, you can control the game. When you have good defense, you can control the game. So.
Have time for one more question. We'll go to Emily Gagnon with CBS 46.
Can you guys hear me? Stetson, I'm sorry. I'm kind of a slow starter here. Really quickly, I don't think you've talked about this yet, but Coach Smart, he challenged the fans after the Vandy game to show up and show out. This place, I've been covering you guys for 5 years, pretty loud, especially for a noon start. Were you impressed with like what you were hearing out there? It obviously got to Arkansas.
Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, the fans are, I mean, you saw, I mean, the first drive of the first half and the second half, they had false starts right off the bat. And yeah, I mean, it's awesome. When we score, and I mean, it's just a roar of noise and you can't really hear anything, but you know, it's probably pretty, it means it's pretty good after we score. I mean, it's the best feeling in the world. You feel on cloud nine. And I mean, it gets in the other team's head. I mean, it's hard to play against that. I mean, it sucks.
And we'll end on that. Congratulations on a great game, Stetson. Coach Smart will be